Hello everyone and welcome back to Planet Coaster. Now before we start, I would like to thank everyone for watching the first part of this little mini series that we have on the channel. It's brought a lot of views in, so thank you very much for all that. And now that we've got like a little bit of housekeeping out of the way, welcome to part 2 of the mini series of the Duel racing coaster. Now if you're new, the first part 1 was just the coaster build itself, which is these two coasters here. It is two different coasters racing side by side the entire way around, and they end in a dead tie, which is very exciting. I'm very proud with how it all turned out. So if you have not seen that and you would like to go see how I build it, maybe stop watching now and go back and watch part 1 and then jump back into this and you'll be up to date. But with everyone else that is here, you know what is going on. So for this episode, we are building the queues, as you can see what I'm doing now, the queue station, and just a little bit of decorating around the entry path towards the actual coaster. So obviously there's two different stations, which means there's two different queues, thus meaning I need to decorate for two different queues. So I obviously wanted it to be a normal queue line, zigzagging back and forth, but I didn't exactly know how I would needed to do or wanted to do both. So what I thought was I would have one out the front, and then, which is the blue one, and then I'd have one that goes underneath the actual station and then comes up around the back, which is the red one. Actually, I am mistaken. Sorry, that is a lie. The red one is at the front, the blue one is at the back. I probably could have just guessed from the actual colors. But yes, the red one's at the front, blue one's at the back of the station. The blue path actually runs underneath, zigzagging underneath the station, which is very cool because that gets it out of the way, but it also gives another little bit of mystery to the queue, which is very cool. Now you would have just seen a jump there, which I do apologize. However, I did stream over on Twitch. So if you aren't following me on Twitch, you're missing out, because I spent like a good 2 hours building this station and it's not even a third of the way done. So I will leave that link down below. So if you do want to see more tedious in time real building rather than just time lapses, go follow me over there, because I'll be streaming probably more of this and also Planet Coaster 2 when it comes out. So I'll be doing videos on that either way. So whether you follow me on there or not, it doesn't bother me. But if you're into more real life timing and all that, yeah, I would suggest going over there and following me. But I will give you a little bit of a rundown of what I wanted. So the queue actually goes in there and zigzags, we saw that, but we didn't see the theming, which is I wanted to do a bit of a spooky type industrial basement sewer vibe. So we got all the wood flooring done and the walls, and then that's pretty much it for underneath. We will obviously do more in this episode, but that's all I did in the live stream. I did more of the actual building itself over there, because that's what obviously would take the longest. It's the like little finicky little bits and bops like you can see me doing here, which now that I look back, I don't really like it, but it is what it is. So yeah, the vibe was going to be sort of spooky. There's going to be fog involved, sewer pipes that are sort of, you know, exposed like beams as such, which isn't very safe. There's going to be like a hanging corpse. It's supposed to be scary. So it's sort of supposed to be like, blue is, here we go. Yeah, so they're the exposed pipes. We've got like the, yeah, hanging skeleton there, the old like blacked out windows. It's all looking very exciting. And so I did that. We will jump back in there, do some more decorating and finish up the backside of the station as well. You might also be wondering what the smaller path is on the backside of this. That is an express fast pass queue. So if the guests want to buy like a more expensive ticket, they can just skip the queue and just drive. They can walk all the way around the actual queue without having to line up as much. So it cuts the line a little bit, if you will. So we do that. I also wanted to have this building this queue line encased in a building. It will be obviously a little bit more friendly than the other one. I sort of wanted it to be, even though they're the exact same coasters and they've got pretty much the exact same green ratings across the board, I wanted like different styles of building. So this one is more family friendly, and then you go down under the building into the sewer, and that's a little bit more adult teen. And I think I captured that very well. Now you can see me here trying to like play around with some decorative pieces. I wanted to try a lot of things that I haven't done before, so I put down lots of railway tracks, and also the decoration inside the actual station when you get up to board the train itself. I wanted that very sort of steampunk railway vibes. So we put like a train track in there, put like some coal and stuff like that. So that's what the theming was in there. I wasn't really too fussed about what theming I wanted for this queue. I know I obviously wanted it to decorate it a lot, but for the main part, I didn't really know. I wanted it to be quite dark, as best I could. The one thing I don't really like about Planet Coaster, and I hope that, I'm pretty sure they have fixed it in Planet Coaster 2, is like darkness in the actual buildings. So once I put a roof on now, you'll still be able to have it, it'll still be quite light. Even with like minimal lights on, it'll still be quite light, which it's not the best if you're doing like an encased ride as such. I've done a dark ride before, or even like an enclosed queue, because I wanted it to be quite dark and mysterious. Even though it's still family friendly, I still wanted that little bit of vibe. I knew that's what I wanted. So yeah, even if you change the nighttime timing, to like midnight and have like one light, it will still be quite light, which is a bit of a shame. But in the gameplay and trailers for Planet Coaster 2, they did do a drop track, and at the bottom of that drop track was just a blacked out room. So I'm not entirely sure if they've just edited that to make it look like it's pitch black, or it is actually pitch black, because I have done a enclosed dark ride before on this channel, and it was kind of dark, but you could still see everything once you go out into the open room, which is a bit of a shame, but you can't do much about it. So yeah, obviously I hope they fix that in number 2 when it comes out, which is very exciting because it's less than 2 weeks. So I've really got to, move my ass with this project. So the next episode part will probably just be terrain work and all that sort of decorating. So I've done the actual ride build, I've done the queue station, so next it'll be terrain work, decorating around the ride. So hopefully I should be able to get it done before Planet 2 arrives. Planet Coaster 2 arrives, which is, I can't believe I'm saying that, it's insane. So we sort of finished the somewhat basic outline of the actual queue. So now I'm just going in and adding more detailing. I've just found there is wooden floorboards, and I've been obsessed with them. So I've been using them pretty much for the entire floor, as you can see now, of the queue, and then all around it, and I think it looks really good. It is giving off like a pirate vibe, but I feel like that's sort of like my best decorative work, pirates and industrial. So that's sort of where I'm drawn to, just because that's sort of the best thing I've done. I did try to change it up a little bit with the main building over the actual station. This is sort of like just the queue station building. So you can see it's sort of got like the Mediterranean type of vibe. Well, that's what I think anyway of the actual Q station. So I did want to obviously try and change it up a bit, do the best I could, and I think it's turned out quite all right. So if you do you have any suggestions on what else I could try and possibly put in there, do leave a comment down below, because I love your guys' feedback. So yeah, if you are enjoying it thus far, please don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and we will see each other soon for another episode on this, and then also Planet Coaster 2, which is very exciting. Now you can see me using the same floorboards for the actual coaster station. I wanted to cover that all up. I wanted to try and customize it as much as possible. So I covered up all the flooring. I extended the actual exit and made that a building, and I ended up changing it and taking away the catwalks from the actual station, just because they weren't really fitting the vibe once I'd done the building, which I do like. And I'm not entirely sure on the sort of style for the actual coaster, so I'm not sure if I'll do more buildings like this, or if it'll just be terrain work and, you know, tree work and rock work and stuff like that. So what do you think? Do you reckon I should just leave it as sort of natural with terrain work and trees and rocks and stuff, or should I actually do some buildings along the way and make it sort of really custom? Let me know. So this is the sort of exit add-on that I'm doing. It's sort of like a little barn, and we'll add obviously a flooring in there, and that's sort of where the railway station, I guess, maintenance area is. There's lots of barrels, there's, you know, carts, there's lots of stuff going on. So we put a floor in, then raise the terrain up all the way so it's not as, you know, odd. Doesn't look like it's just floating in midair. And we also, like I said, take away the catwalks. I just try to do as much as I could to make it look more, you know, natural and inviting, and just a good building all around. So yeah, you can see me leveling out the terrain there, trying to get it to work. We might put some rocks around it, but obviously we tidy it up as best I can. But we might put some... It'll look better with more terrain around the rest of the actual coaster. So don't worry about that. It might just look a little bit weird at the minute, but that's okay. That's because obviously this is part 2, and I'm not entirely sure how many parts there will be, but we'll get there in the end. So yeah, you can see me now start decorating with things. So we put like the animatronic barrel rolling down, some more barrels. Then you can see me here playing around with some crocodiles and stuff. So maybe I could do that, because I definitely do want to do some water features there. If that just means like a little lake or something, I do want to do that. So we could, who knows, put like a little crocodile swimming around, put some like funky water going on, like a little science experiment gone wrong, or some crap like that. So I don't know. And then I added like a little exit railway out the back there, so it looks like you're sort of going along the actual rail. And then I put another cart here as well as at the end, to make it look like it's still in use a little bit, which is, you know, works out great. So who knows, we could make it more of a, see what I mean? Like when it's dark, it's not fully dark, like you can still see it. So I wish it was like, obviously probably couldn't be pitch black, but who knows, it could be. I'm like, who am I to judge what the new game's going to be like? So that's what that is. We're going around obviously doing more decorations and detailing in the actual station, adding some more lights, because there wasn't really any lights around apart from just like the bottom of the actual queue line. So I obviously wanted to make it a little bit more bright. And then now I'm sort of figuring out what I'm going to do with this sort of path area and the entrance to the actual station. So we obviously have this bit of an awkward path here. So I extend that out and make it like a little bit of a dock, and we obviously keep going with the path there so the guests can walk around and it looks like they're walking on the path, which I think works out quite well. Add a nice little custom guardrail around, just nothing too fancy. Nice and easy. We do like a little building here just to cover up. It's a bit of an odd shaped path as well, so I didn't really have too much, to go on. So it was a bit odd, but we built it up with a nice little building there, and then obviously we have to build a nice little floor here for a little transition track. So we add 2 separate tracks and obviously color coordinate them to be for each coaster. So we do that. So as you're coming in, obviously if there needs any maintenance or servicing of any kind, you can just, swap over the track and then there's a new track right there. And they actually did bring that into number 2, which is very exciting. There's so many cool things, man, that I want to try and experiment with, and just, I just love building coasters and decorating. So I'm just gonna, go off, if you will, and have some fun building some coasters. So I hope you are gonna stay with me and enjoy and, come along with this journey with me of building coasters as obviously you would be because you're watching it right now. So building a little, custom fence there, it's going over a path, so you want it to be safe. You don't want anyone, throwing stuff over because that would obviously be dangerous. So yeah, we added in the it's a chain link fence. I'm not really sure if there's any other chains that you could have added, but that's just the one I went with, and it looked quite realistic actually, and we followed that all the way around on this side as well, just to be safe. They could have thrown it off the actual ride and, hit a pedestrian. So I wanted to cover all bases and cover all of that with some, safety netting, if you will. And I think it turns out quite all right. I haven't really done too much realistic stuff. So I'm glad we were able to do it. Now you can see me here sort of trying to figure out this other end of the queue. So I just added it to the building itself. It's not pretty, but it's just an odd shape that I didn't really know what to do with. So we just put a little bit of a building around it, fix it up with some pitched roof, and then we just go through and decorate the hell out of it, just to make it look a little bit more interesting, which I think it does a pretty good job of it. But that is coming to the end of this episode. So this is part 2 of the Duel coaster station. So I hope you are enjoying the journey thus far. And if you do have any comments or any suggestions, leave a comment down below and I'll get back to you. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in part 3 very soon. See ya.